أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين.
Fusus al-Iman is a concise format of explanations related to Sahih Iman based on Tafsir Asadi and Irshad al-Asadi. This book series is named Fusus al-Iman, Bezels of Faith, with the intention that it may be used by the people as an anchor of Sahih Iman when sailing in the oceans of knowledge of Quran and Ahadith. For the students of Quran and Ahadith, Fusus al-Iman can act as a primer that will help them solidify their Iman and prepare them for facing the onslaught of deviant sects who misinterpret the Quranic verses and Ahadith to lead them away from Islam. Since Sahih Iman is the essential requirement of salvation in hereafter, it is important to have correct understanding of all issues related to Sahih Iman to become eligible for salvation. This book contains selected verses from the surah. The explanations of these verses will, insha'Allah, benefit all Muslims of the world in protecting their Iman.
وآتوا اليتامى أموالهم ولا تتبدلوا الخبيث بالطيب ولا تأكلوا أموالهم إلى أموالكم إنه كان حوبا كبيرا.
Translation: Give to the orphans their possessions, and do not replace things of your own which are bad with things which are good among theirs. And do not intermix their goods with your own and make use of them, for this is a grievous crime. Explanation: The first verse of Surah An-Nisa describes all humankind as brothers and sisters as they were created from a single nafs and from whom his spouse was created. Since then, multitude of men and women are born and live on planet Earth. The verse commands people to be mindful of their blood relations. The second verse of the surah diverts our attention towards orphans in the society. The verses 2 to 10 describe about treatment of the orphans in society. Orphans. An orphan is a child who has lost his father or both parents. He has lost the affection and care and financial support of his father and sometimes of his mother as well, and is left in distress and deprivation. Allah has described parents as Rabbiyani Saghira. It is in Quran, and lower to them the wing of humility out of mercy and say, My Lord, have mercy upon them, parents, as they brought me up when I was small. Al-Isra 24. Allah loves His servants, male and female both. Surely He loves their children as well, particularly who have lost one or both parents and have become orphans. Thus, He has commanded special care for them. It is the responsibility of the society in general and the responsibility of the relatives in particular to take care of such children. And if the parents have left any property or wealth, it should be used honestly in raising the orphan, and when he is adult, it should be honestly given back to him or her. It is in Quran, and do not approach the orphan's property except in a way that is best until he reaches maturity. Al-An'am 152. It is in Quran, and they ask you concerning orphans, say, O Prophet ﷺ, the best thing is to work honestly in their property, and if you mix your affairs with theirs, then they are your brothers, and Allah knows him who means mischief to grab their property from him who means good to protect their property. Al-Baqarah 220. The gist of the verses about orphans is they should be treated as one treats his own children. Their money should be protected. They should be loved to compensate the love of their parents. It is in Hadith. Sahl ibn Sa'd radiyallahu ta'ala anhu reported that the Prophet ﷺ said, The one who cares for an orphan and myself will be together in paradise like this. And he held his two fingers together to illustrate. Sahih al-Bukhari. It is in Hadith. Malik ibn al-Harith radiyallahu ta'ala anhu reported that the Apostle of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Whoever embraces an orphan of two Muslim parents by feeding him and giving him drink until he is independent of him, paradise will certainly be made necessary for him. Whoever emancipates a Muslim man, he will buy his freedom from the hellfire." Musnad Ahmad. It is in Hadith, Abu Huraira radiyallahu ta'ala anhu reported that the Apostle of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "The best house among the Muslims is the house in which orphans are treated well. The worst house among the Muslims is the house in which orphans are ill-treated. I and the guardian of the orphan will be in paradise like that," indicating his two fingers. Bukhari, Adab al-Mufrad.
وَإِنْ خِفْتُمْ أَلَّا تُقْسِطُوا فِي الْيَتَامَى فَانكِحُوا مَا طَابَ لَكُم مِّنَ النِّسَاءِ مَثْنَىٰ وَثُلَاثَ وَرُبَاعَ ۖ فَإِنْ خِفْتُمْ أَلَّا تَعْدِلُوا فَوَاحِدَةً أَوْ مَا مَلَكَتْ أَيْمَانُكُمْ ۚ ذَلِكَ أَدْنَىٰ أَلَّا تَعُولُوا.
Translation: If you fear you cannot be equitable to orphan girls in your charge or misuse their persons, then marry women who are lawful for you, 2, 3 or 4. But if you fear you cannot treat so many with equity, marry only one, or a maid or captive. That is more appropriate, that you may not incline to injustice. Explanation: It is reported that some men had the tendency to marry orphan girls under their guardianship in view of their property or with the intention of not doing justice with them. It is in Hadith. It is narrated on the authority of Urwa that he asked Ummul Mu'mineen Aisha radiyallahu ta'ala anha about the verses, "If you fear you cannot be equitable to orphan girls in your charge or misuse their persons, then marry women who are lawful for you, 2, 3 or 4. But if you fear you cannot treat so many with equity, marry only one, or a maid or captive. That is more appropriate, that you may not incline to injustice." An-Nisa 3. Ummul Mu'mineen radiyallahu ta'ala anha said, "O my nephew, this verse has been revealed in connection with an orphan girl under the guardianship of a guardian who is attracted by her wealth and beauty and intends to marry her with a mehr, less than what other women of her standard deserve. So such guardians, have been forbidden to marry them unless they do justice to them and give them their full mehr, and they are ordered to marry other women instead of them." Bukhari. It is in Quran, "And they request from you, O Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, a decree concerning women. Say, Allah gives you a decree about them and about what has been recited to you in the book concerning the orphan girls to whom you do not give what is decreed for them, and yet you desire to marry them, and concerning the oppressed among children, and that you maintain for orphans their rights in justice. And whatever you do of good, indeed Allah is ever knowing of it." An-Nisa 127. The above verse also stipulates that marrying more wives than one is permissible on the condition that one treats his wives equitably, and the maximum number is fixed at 4. It is in Quran, "And among his signs is that he created for you mates from among yourselves, that you may dwell in peace and tranquility with them. And he has put love and mercy between your hearts. Verily, in that are signs of those who reflect." Ar-Rum 21. For a man who has a chaste and modest wife, there is no need to marry another woman, because it is a difficult task and overburden to do justice between the wives in all their emotional, physical and financial requirements. It is in Quran, "You will never be able to do perfect justice between wives, even if it is your ardent desire. So do not incline too much to one of them by giving her more of your time and provision, and leave the other hanging, neither divorced nor married." An-Nisa 129. It is in Hadith. It is narrated on the authority of Abu Huraira radiyallahu ta'ala anhu that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "The man who had 2 wives and was inclined towards one of them and did injustice towards the other will come on the day of judgment bent to one side. Abu Dawud, Nasai, Ibn Majah, Ahmad, etc. When commandments in Quran and Ahadith are clear that it will not be possible for a male to do justice between wives, then the question arises why Muslim men are allowed to marry more than one woman, up to 4 in all. The answer is the window of marrying more women is kept open in order to help destitute, needy, orphan and widowed women. Leaving women shelterless on their own among certain male wolves on the street is cruel. Islam takes care of every individual in society, particularly those who need help and assistance. Some people talk about polygamy as if Islam was the first to permit it. This is not correct. Many nations and religions before Islam had allowed marrying a great number of women, tens of them, even hundreds, without any condition or limitations. The kings used to have thousands of wives in their palaces. As per Mahabharata, Krishna married 16,108 women in addition to endless number of gopis. With the advent of Islam, a condition and a limitation was laid on polygamy up to 4 in unavoidable circumstances to help the needy woman who had no one to look after. It is in Hadith. It is narrated on the authority of Ibn Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu that Ghilan bin Salama at-Takhafi radiallahu ta'ala anhu had 10 wives when he became Muslim, and the Prophet ﷺ asked him, choose any 4 among them and divorce the rest. Ahmad, Tirmidhi, Ibn Majah. As for Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is concerned, he lived most of his life with al-Mu'mineen Khadija radiallahu ta'ala anha, a widow who had married twice earlier and was older to him by 15 years. After her death, the Prophet ﷺ married 8 other women. The fact is that it was something ordained by Allah for him. It is important to note that all his wives were widows except one, al-Mu'mineen Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha. These marriages were performed on the behest of Allah to help these women and to elevate them among believers as they all were declared mothers of the believers. It is in Quran, the Prophet ﷺ is closer to the believers than their own selves, and his wives are their mothers. Al-Ahzab 6. Later, Allah restricted the Prophet ﷺ from marrying any other or to choose another instead of one of his wives. It is in Quran, it is not lawful for you to marry other women after this, nor to change them for other wives, even though their beauty attracts you. Al-Ahzab 52.
يوصيكم الله في أولادكم للذكر مثل حظ الأنثيين فإن كن نساء فوق 2 فلهن ثلثا ما ترك وإن كانت واحدة فلها النصف ولأبويه لكل واحد منهما السدس مما ترك إن كان له ولد فإن لم يكن له ولد وورثه أبواه فلأمه الثلث فإن كان له إخوة فلأمه السدس من بعد وصية يوصي بها أو دين آباؤكم وأبناؤكم لا تدرون أيهم أقرب لكم نفعا فريضة من الله إن الله كان عليما حكيما.
Translation. Allah commands you concerning your children. For the male, what is equal to the share of 2 females. But if there are only daughters, 2 or more, for them is 2/3 of one's estate. And if there is only one, for her is half. And for one's parents, to each one of them is 1/6 of his estate, if he left children. But if he had no children, and the parents alone inherit from him, then for his mother is 1/3. And if he had brothers or sisters, for his mother is 1/6. After any bequest he may have, maid or debt. Your parents or your children, you know not which of them are nearest to you in benefit. These shares are an obligation imposed by Allah. Indeed, Allah is ever knowing and wise. Explanation. This verse describes the shares of inheritance to individual heirs. It is in Quran, prescribed for you when death approaches any one of you, if he leaves well, is that he should make a bequest for the parents and near relatives according to what is acceptable. It is a duty upon the righteous. Al-Baqarah 180. The command is given in Quran to help out the relatives first. That means providence of succor to relatives is necessary. As the shares of the heirs have been fixed, it is also commanded to write a will for non-heirs and for repayment of loans, etc. Thus, three things have been described in Quran. A. The share of heirs. B. Repayment of loan. And C. Writing of a will. The shares of inheritance of lawful heirs have been fixed in the Quran. For others, it is commanded to write a will. However, the beneficiaries of the will and their shares have not been fixed. The assistance to people who are not heirs has been left at the discretion of the writer of the will. The discretionary choice given to the person is only for those who do not fall under the category of direct heirs, and this is after the allotment and ascertainment of lawful heirs' portions. To write a will in favor of a heir is inappropriate because the shares of heirs are already determined by Quran. Since heirs are the closest relatives, therefore the maximum quantity and the amount of the will is fixed at 1/3 of the inheritance so that the heirs do not suffer. If the heirs agree, the will can be written for more than 1/3. If there are no heirs, then the will can be written for the entire wealth because there is no one to object over it. The will has been placed ahead of repayment of loan and distribution of inheritance to legal heirs. The reason for giving precedence to the will is that the heirs consider the wealth of the deceased as their own, and in the process, the loans taken up by the deceased during their lifetime remain unpaid.
إن تجتنبوا كبائر ما تنهون عنه نكفر عنكم سيئاتكم وندخلكم مدخلا كريما.
Translation. If you avoid major sins which you are forbidden, we will remove from you your lesser sins and admit you to a noble entrance, paradise. Explanation. Knowingly and unknowingly, sins are committed by people like rain showers throughout their lives in day-to-day living. We are always prone to make mistakes inadvertently. We are therefore cautioned to pay extra attention in avoiding major sins. The minor sins committed and recorded get erased by the mercy of Allah. What are the major sins? Any sin entailing a threat of punishment in the hereafter, explicitly mentioned in the Quran and Sunnah, come under this category. Even among major sins, there are some heinous than others. Like shirk is the worst kind. It is in Quran. Undoubtedly, Allah does not forgive the sin of associating partners with Him and forgives anything lower than it to whomsoever He wills. And whoever ascribes partners to Allah is guilty of the gravest sin. An-Nisa 48. It is in Hadith. The Prophet ﷺ said, avoid 7 sins that doom a person to hell. We said, what are they, O Apostle of Allah ﷺ? He said, associating others with Allah, shirk, witchcraft, killing a person whom Allah has forbidden us to kill, except in cases dictated by Islamic law, consuming orphans' wealth, consuming riba, interest, fleeing from the battlefield, and slandering chaste, innocent women. Bukhari, Muslim. If a person repents from his sins and seek forgiveness, then Allah accepts his repentance. It is in Quran. Say, O Prophet ﷺ, O my servants who have transgressed against themselves by sinning, do not despair of the mercy of Allah. Indeed, Allah forgives all sins. Certainly, it is He who is the forgiving, the merciful. Az-Zumar 53.
الرجال قوامون على النساء بما فضل الله بعضهم على بعض وبما أنفقوا من أموالهم فالصالحات قانتات حافظات للغيب بما حفظ الله واللاتي تخافون نشوزهن فعظوهن واهجروهن في المضاجع واضربوهن فإن أطعنكم فلا تبغوا عليهن سبيلا إن الله كان عليا كبيرا.
Translation: Men are in charge of women by preeminence of what Allah has given one over the other and what they spend from their wealth. So righteous women are devotedly obedient, guarding in the husband's absence what Allah would have them guard. But those wives from whom you fear arrogance, first advise them, then if they persist, forsake them in bed, and finally strike them. But if they obey you, seek no means against them. Indeed, Allah is sublime and great. Explanation: Essentially, men and women have equal rights in Islam. These rights are subject to the roles they are playing in individual homes and in society. Every responsibility brings certain privileges with it. The law has to cover all these minute details. If you do not keep these details in mind, your living becomes a mess that results in disintegration of homes and society. Men and women have different responsibilities when they get married. After marriage, their roles become distinct from each other. Thus, the above verse stipulates that husbands have preeminence over their wives. What is this preeminence? It is his responsibility to take care of his wife and children. He is responsible to provide food, shelter, and every single need. If he has one bread, his wife will share half of it. If the meanings of preeminence are authority and guardianship, it is also correct. The degree of authority is something we need in all aspects of our lives. Any meeting of a team of people requires a person to preside over and organize. Similarly, any operation, regardless of how small it is, requires a person to manage it. This authority is actually a burden, and this authority is described in the above verse as preeminence. If an operational responsibility is given without the authority to execute it, the person will not be able to do justice with the assigned responsibility. It is in Quran. According to customary good and honorable norms, women have rights similar to those against them, men. But men have a degree of preeminence above them. Al-Baqarah 228. The verse stipulates that men should manage their affairs in consultation with their wives and children. The father has to be compassionate, should think of his family and well-being of his wife and children. The mother and children should cooperate with him in this task, and his decision in the end of the conversation should be followed by all. If everyone in the family starts disputing with each other and try to run affairs as per their whims, the house becomes a battleground. The most desirable and required attribute of the father is he should be compassionate with his wife and children. If he is hard-headed and misuses the provisions in the Sharia, then he is held responsible for it and he will be punished by divine laws accordingly. Similarly, the role of wife and children are clearly specified. If they transgress and create disorder at home, it is the responsibility of the father to set things right by showing disapproval. Similar is the case between the wife and husband. If she does not listen to the good counsel, a recourse has been provided to husband to leave her alone in bed and reprimand. What is the meaning of striking them? It means to scold, chide, and censure. It does not mean physical violence at home causing physical harm. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ never even slapped any of his wives throughout his life. If the wife is adamant, then there is only one course left, which is separation and divorce.
فكيف إذا جئنا من كل أمة بشهيد وجئنا بك على هؤلاء شهيدا.
Translation: So how will it be when we bring a witness from all nations and we bring you, O Prophet ﷺ, as a witness and a watcher over them? Explanation: If we know the fact of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, it is easy for us to understand that the Prophet ﷺ is a witness for all the prophets and their nations. He knows about the truthfulness of all the prophets and the affairs of their nations from the time of Adam alayhi salam till the day of resurrection. It is established from the Quran and a hadith that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the root of all creation. It is in hadith, it is related that Jabir ibn Abdullah radiallahu ta'ala anhu said to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, O Apostle of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, may my father and mother be sacrificed for you. Tell me the first thing Allah created before all things. The Prophet ﷺ said, O Jabir, the first thing Allah created was the light of your Prophet ﷺ from his light, and everything else was created from that light. Part of hadith. The above hadith was narrated by Abd al-Razzaq D 211 AH in his Musannaf according to Khastallani in Al-Mawahib al-Ladunya 1-55 and Zarkhani in his Shar al-Mawahib 1-56 of the Mattaba al-Amira edition, Cairo. There cannot be any doubt as to the reliability of Abd al-Razzaq as a narrator. Bukhari took 120 narrations from him while Muslim took 400. Bayhaqi also narrated the above hadith with a different wording in Dalail al-Nubuwa according to Zurqani in his Shar al-Mawahib 1-56 of the Mataba'a al-Amira, Cairo. Also, Diyar Bakri narrated it in Tarikh al-Khamis 1-20. The authenticity of the above hadith is also proved from the following Quranic verses and a hadith. First, it is in Quran, O Prophet ﷺ, truly we have sent you as a witness, a bearer of glad tidings and warner for the entire cosmos, and as one who invites to Allah's grace by His consent, and as a lamp spreading light into the whole cosmos. Al-Ahzab 45-46. The above verse describes Prophet Muhammad ﷺ as lamp spreading light into the whole cosmos. He is also referred as a witness, a bearer of glad tidings and warner to humanity. A witness is the one who knows about all the physical and spiritual aspects of this cosmos. Second, it is in Quran. Allah is the light of the heavens and earth. The similitude of His light is as a niche wherein is a lamp. The lamp is in a glass. The glass is as it were a shining star. This lamp is kindled from a blessed tree, an olive neither of the east nor of the west, whose oil would almost glow forth of itself, though no fire touched it. Light upon light, Allah guides to His light whom He will, and Allah speaks to mankind in allegories. For Allah is knower of all things. An-Nur 35. Suyuti said in Al-Riyad al-Aniqa, Ibn Jubair radiallahu ta'ala anhu and Ka'b al-Ahbar radiallahu ta'ala anhu said, what is meant by the second light in the light upon light is Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as it is also described in verse Al-Ahzab 46 above. Third, it is in Quran, from Allah has come to you a light and a book manifest. Al-Ma'idah 15. The above verse is very clear in describing Prophet Muhammad ﷺ as Nur from Allah. In the exegesis tafsir of the above verse, many well-known ulama have confirmed that the light refers to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. References: first, Suyuti in Tafsir al-Jalalayn. Second, Feruzabadi in the Tafsir Ibn Abbas entitled Tanwir al-Mikhbas, page 72. Third, Fakhr al-Din al-Razi in his Tafsir al-Kabir 11-189. Fourth, Khadi Baidawi in his tafsir entitled Anwar at-Tanzil. Fifth, Al-Baghawi in his tafsir entitled Ma'alim at-Tanzil 2-23. Sixth, Al-Shirbini in his tafsir entitled Al-Siraj al-Munir, page 360. Seventh, the author of Tafsir Abi Saud 4-36. 8. Thanaullah Panipati in his Tafsir al-Mazhari 3-67. 9. Sheikh Muhammad Abdul Qadir Siddiqui Rahmatullah Alayh in his Tafsir Siddiqui. 10. Ibn Jarir al-Tabari in his Tafsir Jami al-Bayan 6-92. 11. Al-Khazin in his Tafsir 2-28. 12. Al-Nasafi in his commentary entitled Tafsir al-Madarik 1-276, and Al-Khasimi in his Mahasin at-Tawil 6-1921. 13. Ahmad al-Sawi in Tafsir al-Jalalayn 1 to 258. 14th, Sayyid Mahmud al-Alusi in his commentary entitled Tafsir Ruh al-Ma'ani 6 to 97, and many others. 4th, it is in Quran. And look, He is who have created you from single soul. Then there is for you a resting place and a depository. Indeed, we have detailed our signs for the people who understand. Al-An'am 98. Some people say that the above verse refers to Prophet Adam alayhi salam. Their contention is true as far as the human beings are concerned, but as far as the entire creation is concerned, everything in this cosmos was created from the nur of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. 6th, it is in Hadith, narrated by Abu Huraira radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, when Allah's Apostle sallallahu alaihi wasallam was asked, since how long he is the Prophet, he replied, when Adam alayhi salam had not yet had his spirit joined to his body. Tirmidhi. 7th, it is in Hadith, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Allah gives and I distribute. Bukhari and Muslim. The above hadith establishes the pivotal and central role of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The process of Allah giving and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam distributing is eternal from the time this cosmos came into existence. 8. It is in Quran. Behold, Allah took the covenant promise of all the prophets, saying, I give you a book and wisdom. Then comes to you an apostle, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, confirming what is with you. Do you believe in him and render him help? Allah said, do you agree and take this my covenant as binding on you? They said, we agree. He said, then bear witness, and I am with you among the witnesses. Ali Imran 81. When we understand the above facts, it is easy for us to understand the above verse 41 that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is a witness for all the prophets and their nations. He knows about the truthfulness of all the prophets and the affairs of their nations from the time of Adam alayhi salam till the day of resurrection.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تقربوا الصلاة وأنتم سكارى حتى تعلموا ما تقولون لا تقربوا الصلاة وأنتم سكارى حتى تعلموا ما تقولون ولا جنبا إلا عابري سبيل حتى تغتسلوا وإن كنتم مرضى أو على سفر أو جاء أحد منكم من الغائط أو لامستم النساء فلم تجدوا ماء فتيمموا صعيدا طيبا فامسحوا بوجوهكم وأيديكم إن الله كان عفوا غفورا.
Translation. O believers, do not pray when you are intoxicated. Instead, wait until you can understand what you are saying. Also, do not pray in the state of impurity until after you have taken bath, except while traveling, and if you are ill or on a journey, or one of you returns from answering the call of nature, or you have cohabited with women, and you do not find water, then cleanse yourself with clean soil and wipe your face and hands. Allah is gracious and all-forgiving. Explanation. Drinking and gambling were very popular in the pre-Islamic era in Arabia. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ worked on two fronts. A. He corrected the beliefs of the people, helped them come out of the darkness of idol worship, and B. He also corrected their personal and societal habits of illiteracy and created awareness for a healthy and vibrant society. Imam Ahmad recorded that Abu Huraira radiyallahu ta'ala anhu said that khamr, intoxicants, were prohibited gradually in three stages. First, wine and gambling were declared sins. It is in Quran. They ask you about wine and gambling. Say, in them is great sin, and yet some benefit for people, but their sin is greater than their benefit. Al-Baqarah 219. Second, then came this commandment. It is in Quran. O believers, do not pray when you are intoxicated. Instead, wait until you can understand what you're saying. An-Nisa 43. Third, then the final command. It is in Quran. O you who believe, indeed intoxicants, gambling, sacrificing on stone altars to other than Allah, and divining arrows are but defilement from the work of Satan. So avoid it that you may be successful. Satan only wants to cause between you animosity and hatred through intoxicants and gambling, and to avert you from the remembrance of Allah and from prayer. So, will you not desist? Al-Ma'idah 90-91. Wine has negative effects on human health. It damages bones, is one of the causes of cancer, high blood pressure, increased cholesterol levels, and weak heart muscles. It also damages brain functions as it impairs mental function, causing behavioral changes and memory impairment. This is the reason Islam has forbidden wine and use of intoxicants in any form.
من الذين هادوا يحرفون الكلم عن مواضعه ويقولون سمعنا وعصينا واسمع غير مسمع وراعنا ليا بألسنتهم وطعنا في الدين ولو أنهم قالوا سمعنا وأطعنا واسمع وانظرنا لكان خيرا لهم وأقوم ولكن لعنهم الله بكفرهم فلا يؤمنون إلا قليلا.
Translation. Some of the Jews interchange the words from their places and say, we hear and disobey. And they say, hear, may you not be able to hear. And they say, Ra'ina, to disrespect the Prophet ﷺ, distorting it with their tongues and in order to slander religion. Had they said, we hear and we obey, and kindly listen to us, O Prophet ﷺ, and look mercifully upon us, O Prophet ﷺ, it would have been much better for them and more just. Allah has cursed them for their disbelief, so they do not believe except a little. Explanation. In Arabic, Ra'ina means take care of us or hold our hands. The word was used by Sahaba to address the Prophet ﷺ to request him to look at them for explaining something which was not understood by them fully. This happened mostly during Prophet ﷺ's teaching to groups of Sahaba. The word is derived from the Arabic word ra'i, meaning shepherd. The shepherd guides a herd of sheep and cattle towards the places that are rich in greenery and water. He also looks after the herd and protects them from wild predators. It is in Quran, O you who believe, do not say ra'ina, but say unzurna, and listen. A painful punishment awaits the unbelievers. Al-Baqarah 104. When we look the Arabic meanings of both the words Ra'ina and Unzurna, they are more or less the same. Then why did Allah commanded Sahaba to use Unzurna instead of Ra'ina? Jews used to join the groups of Sahaba apparently to let Muslims believe that they wanted to know about Islam from the Prophet ﷺ. In Hebrew and Syriac languages, a similar sounding word, Ra'ina, was used as a slur to insult a person who is negligent. Since the Jews were aware of these languages, they used certain words with the intention to undermine the respect of the Prophet ﷺ and thought that Muslims will not know about it. Allah exposed the evils of Jews.
يا أيها الذين أوتوا الكتاب آمنوا بما نزلنا مصدقا لما معكم من قبل أن نطمس وجوها فنردها على أدبارها أو نلعنهم كما لعنا أصحاب السبت وكان أمر الله مفعولا.
Translation. O people of the book, believe in what we have revealed, the Quran, which confirms what is already with you, before we disfigure your look and turn your faces about and curse you, as we did with those who had broken the Sabbath. And remember, what Allah decrees is done instantly, Explanation. The details about the punishment of the people of Sabat are given in the tafsir of verse number 65, Surah Al-Baqarah. It is also given below for the benefit of our readers. Sabat, Saturday, is an important day in Jewish tradition, which was granted to them on their own request. Israelis wanted to relax one day in a week when they would not work in order to focus on their worship. The kind of break allowed them to balance between worldly pursuits and worship or meditation. It is reported that during the time of Dawood alayhi salam, a small community of Jews lived by the side of a sea. Their livelihood was catching fish from the ocean and selling it to nearby towns. It so happened that a lot of fish used to appear near the shore on Saturday. On other days, they had to fish far away in the sea. In this, it was a trial for them from their Lord. It is in Quran. And asked them, O Prophet ﷺ, about the town that was by the sea when they transgressed in Sabbath, when the fish came to them openly on their Sabbath day. And the day they had no Sabbath, the fish did not come to them. Thus did we give them trial because they were defiantly disobedient. Al-Araf 163. As plenty of fish used to appear on Sabbath day, a difference of opinion occurred in that town among people. Some people did not like the practice of catching the fish on Saturday and opposed it. They warned others against catching the fish appearing on Saturday. When matters could not be resolved, the people who opposed left that town and started living at a nearby place. They knew that the people who were attempting to catch the fish appearing on Saturday, Sabbath day, may face Allah's wrath. It is in Quran. And when a community among them said, why do you advise or warn a people whom Allah is about to destroy or to punish with a severe punishment? They, the advisors, said, to be absolved before your Lord, and perhaps they may fear him. Al-Araf 164. The people who wanted to catch the fish appearing on Saturday then devised a plan. They started putting their nets in the water on Friday night in order for fish to get trapped on Saturday. On Sunday, they used to go and catch that fish. With this practice, they claimed that they were not breaking the religious laws and at the same time making a lot of money by selling excessive catch. This practice was continued for some time. It so happened that one day the people who had left this community realized that there is no activity in the neighboring town they left. No one from that town was seen selling the fish either. When they went there to see what was going on, they were aghast to see their relatives who had been turned into apes. Certain facial features allowed them to recognize them individually, and within 3 days, all the people who turned into apes died. That is how the entire town was destroyed. It is in Quran. And when they forgot that by which they had been reminded, we saved those who had forbidden evil and seized those who wronged with a wretched punishment because they were defiantly disobeying. Al-Araf 165. It is in Quran. So when they were insolent about that which they had been forbidden, we said to them, be apes, despised. Al-Araf 166.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا أطيعوا الله وأطيعوا الرسول وأولي الأمر منكم فإن تنازعتم في شيء فردوه إلى الله والرسول إن كنتم تؤمنون بالله واليوم الآخر ذلك خير وأحسن تأويلا.
Translation. O people who believe, obey Allah and the Apostle ﷺ and those among you who are in authority. If there is a dispute among you concerning any matter, refer it to Allah and the Apostle ﷺ for judgment. And if you believe in Allah and the last day, this is the best of settlement. Explanation. Obeying Allah and His Apostle ﷺ is the cornerstone of our Iman. What is the meaning of obeying the people in authority? If the people in authority are Sahihul Aqidah, people of Islam, there is no problem in it. Even if the rulers are disbelievers, deviants, but they do not interfere with your religious and personal issues, and you have freedom of Iman and good deeds, it is also fine. What about the people in authority who are disbelievers or deviant sects and are unjust tyrants and force you to proclaim and live in disbelief? In such a scenario, there are two options. First, immigrate to a place where you have freedom to protect your iman. It is in Quran, as for those whose souls are taken by the angels at death while in a state of unbelief, they will be asked by the angels, what state were you in? They will answer, we were oppressed in the land. And the angels will say, was not Allah's earth large enough for you to migrate? Their abode will be hell, and what an evil abode is hell. An-Nisa 97. It is in Quran, whosoever leaves his country in Allah's cause will find many places of refuge and abundance on the earth. And he who leaves his home and becomes an immigrant in the way of Allah and His Apostle ﷺ, and death overtakes him, is sure to receive his reward from Allah. For Allah is oft forgiving, most merciful. An-Nisa 100. It is established from the above verses that if the rulers of a state are unjust and force you to proclaim and live in disbelief, then it is required that people migrate out of that land to live in a place where they can live by their conscience and faith. The argument that they were suppressed by tyrants and were forced to live in disbelief will not help in afterlife. Second, what happens if you cannot immigrate in view of persecution or other compelling reasons? Surely there is a respite for those who cannot immigrate for compelling reasons or so weak to chart out their escape from the territory but at heart are believers. It is in Quran, except those who were forcibly subdued among men and the women and children, unable to devise a plan and unaware of the way, may well hope for the mercy of Allah. And Allah is full of mercy and grace. An-Nisa 98-99. Sahih Iman or Sahih ul-Aqidah Iman is an essential requirement for salvation in hereafter. And if a person has Sahih Iman in his heart equal to the weight of a mustard seed or even an atom, he will be taken out of hell on the mediation of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It is in Hadith. It is narrated on the authority of Abdullah bin Mas'ud radiyallahu ta'ala anhu that the Apostle of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, no one shall enter the fire of hell who has in his heart Iman equal to the weight of a mustard seed. Bukhari, Muslim and others. It is in Hadith, Apostle of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, first, he who among you sees something abominable should modify it with the help of his hand. Second, and if he has not strength enough to do it, then he should do it with his tongue. Third, and if he does not have enough strength to do it, even then he should abhor it from his heart, and that is the least of Iman. Muslim, Book 1, number 84. It is in Hadith. It is narrated on the authority Abdullah bin Mas'ud radiyallahu ta'ala anhu that the Apostle of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam observed, never a prophet had been sent before myself by Allah towards his nation whose people, his disciples and companions had not followed his ways and obeyed his command. Then there came after them their successors who proclaimed whatever they did not practice and practiced whatever they were not commanded to do. He who strove against them with his hands was a believer. He who strove against them with his tongue was a believer. And he who strove against them with his heart was a believer. And beyond that, there is no faith even to the extent of a mustard seed. Abu Rafi radiyallahu ta'ala anhu said, I narrated this hadith to Abdullah bin Umar radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. He contradicted me. There happened to come Abdullah bin Mas'ud radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, who stayed at Qanat. And Abdullah bin Umar radiyallahu ta'ala anhu wanted me to accompany him for visiting him, as Abdullah bin Mas'ud was ailing. So I went along with him, and as we sat before him, I asked Ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu ta'ala anhu about this hadith. He narrated it in the same way as I narrated it to Ibn Umar radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. Muslim, book number 1, number 86.
صدق الله العلي العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم.